I saw my son who's doing residency down in New Orleans, and then I stopped in Texas on my way home and visited a couple of doctor friends of mine in Texas and some other friends in Arkansas before making my way back home. And so I've been back here, I guess, for roughly 2.5 days, and I love it. I love being back home. It's always fun to leave, but it's always fun to be back and get back to the home. And so, again, my name is Dr. Krafiznik, and I just want to say, I'm going to throw this out there right away. Although this call isn't about, it's not a political call, and I'm not talking politics, it does kind of involve politics just a little bit. And here's why I'm going to say that, because every country in the world really bases the value of their money on the American dollar. And so when our economy is doing good, it seems like everybody else's economy is doing okay or doing good as well. And so, it's important, some of the things that I'm going to talk about. Right now in the United States, our budget for the year, the fiscal budget for the year is $4.79 trillion. That's $13 billion a day. And, there's 600 plus billionaires in the United States. I think it's like 604 registered billionaires in the United States right now. And we talk about taxing and getting out of the trouble that we're in. But really, if we took all their assets, if we took all their assets, if we took all their revenues, it wouldn't get us out of the hole that we're in. So what I want to say is that the economy isn't going to change rather quickly, and that means that since the economy of the world isn't going to get much better, you have to change your economy, and that's what's important. So that's what I want to have to talk about. I think that it's important. It's really important. A lot of people know, most of you know, that I was involved in a motorcycle accident 15 years ago. But what a lot of people don't know, they don't realize, or maybe they don't remember, that in 2004, right before my motorcycle accident, I was selected as being one of America's top chiropractors. I was honored to receive that award. I was on top of my game. Boom. And I mean, boom, I was in a wheelchair. And, I'm laying in the hospital. I was in a coma for a couple of days, and they told me that I might not ever walk again because of the injuries that I sustained. And based on my work history, I've never worked for anybody in my entire adult life. Now, I worked for my dad. I worked for some friends on their farms and stuff like that when I was going to high school and college. But I've never had a job. I've never worked for anyone else. I don't have any other skills. The only skill that I have is that I've been in the business of helping people. And, I'm going to say this, that, right before my motorcycle wreck, I had also just gone through a divorce. So I was going into this thing with no extra money, no extra skills. I was a single father with 3 boys at home, and I'm in the hospital, and the doctors and the counselors there are saying, here's what you should do, Kurt. They said, you should just go on welfare. You should live on the state. You should live on the money that the government gives you. I didn't even think about it because that's not me. It's just not me. Sure, it's easy. I'm guessing that probably 99% of people would have done that. And what does that have to do with what I'm talking about tonight? Here's my point. I talk to people every day. I'm looking for new people that want to join my business, and they ultimately they're going to say, "What do you do? What do you do?" And I talk to them about what they do, and we talk about that kind of thing. But they eventually tell me, "I couldn't do what you do," and they come up with all kinds of excuses, and in my book, excuses are excuses. They're all equal. They say they don't have any money, they don't have any time, they don't know any people, they don't have the skills. Um, you know, and what does that all mean? It basically means that they feel like they don't have the resources. They don't have the resources to do what I'm doing. And I'm pretty good at prospecting people. I can prospect somebody pretty quickly. I can tell if they're going to be someone that's going to fit in the business or not in a pretty short time. And I don't try and convince people to do it, because then if they get in and they don't do it, then they're going to say to me, they're going to say, see, I told you so. Or they're going to say, oh, you talked me into it. And you know what? I don't want to have any part to do with that. So I'm always prospecting people and looking for people who will do this with me. And the difference between most people and myself, the difference between you, because you're here, you're in this business, you're on this video, you're watching or you're listening to this video. So obviously somebody saw the same thing in you, right? And the difference between them and you is that you may not have the resources. I didn't have the resources. I didn't have any money. I was disabled. I was in a wheelchair. I didn't know if I'd ever walk again. And I didn't have any skills. I didn't know how to do this. I'd never done this before. And so the difference between the thems and the us's, or the thems and you, is that you're resourceful. They don't have the resources. They don't know the people. They don't have the time. They don't have the money, right? Those are all resources. And I didn't have the resources, but I was resourceful. I was resourceful enough that I knew that I had to do something. I couldn't live off the government's nickel. And right now, with our economy the way it is, guess what? If you look at what's happening in our country now, I don't know if it's happening in the other countries around the world, but it's happening here. A lot of people, they look at it and they say they don't have the resources. So what they're doing is they're going to the government, and they're going on the government nickel. They're going on that welfare. They're living off the government. They're doing what I could have done 15 years ago, but they're doing it now because they just don't see this whole thing. Now, remember, I was in a wheelchair. I was broke. But successful people, and I'm not bragging, successful people tend to be successful in a lot of other things that they do. And you know, so when I look at the world, what I look at and I go, okay, you know, I may not have the skill sets. I didn't have the skill sets to be a chiropractor either when I first got involved with that, but I learned them, right? I became resourceful enough. I went to school for it, and I became resourceful enough. And I had 10,000 patients. Think about that. I had 10,000 patients. I was seeing anywhere between 50 to 100 people a day. I was selected as one of America's top chiropractors. I really enjoyed what I was doing. I enjoyed it immensely, right? And that is part of my definition of success. If going to work, if doing what you do is fun, and you don't dread it on Monday when you say, I get to do this versus I got to do this, right? I get to do this. So a resourceful person not only comes up with the resources, because that's one thing. You could say, oh, I got the money, I got the time, and things like that. But a lot of people that get involved with this industry, they still don't become successful. And I'm going to tell you the reason why is because you have to change your blueprint. You have to change your blueprint on what you're doing. Now, me, right? I was a chiropractor on top of my game. I was successful. I had a blueprint. That's what made me successful. In my blueprint on life, I was there. When I got involved with this industry, not only did I have to change what I was doing, and I had to learn a whole new set of skills, but I changed my blueprint. I changed my blueprint on what I was doing. I changed my blueprint on how I defined success. And I'm not there yet. I'm not going to, in any stretch of the imagination, tell you that I've reached the top of my game. I'm not there yet. I'll get there. And I know you will too, if you take your blueprint and you say, this is what I'm going to do. And so I had to change my life. I had to change everything about it. I've got notes that I wrote because I'm putting together. I spent some time in Texas, and I was writing up a new plan of what I want to talk about. So nobody really, or not many people really grow up and say, I'm going to be a network marketer. I'm going to be a success in the MLM industry. Most people don't have the skills. And I'm going to be honest with you. You can probably verify this with me. If you're listening to this video, somebody got you listening, they're thinking about you, is that not only do you don't have the skills for it, in most cases, you probably don't have the money. So you're probably missing another one of your resources. But what I like about this industry, and I'm going to tell you, I've been involved for just a short time. I mean, really, when you look at the whole scheme of things, what I like about this industry, it doesn't take much money to get started. And it doesn't take much money to be involved on a monthly basis. You don't have to have a special set of skills. Everybody can do this. I'm telling you, everybody can do this. So you don't need the money and you don't have to have skills. In fact, you really don't even have to have any resources at all. But here's what you need. You need to be resourceful enough that you can figure this out and you can put together a game plan. I like people when I'm prospecting and they tell me, they say, well, I can't do it right now. Boom, you're the one. I want to get you in my business. When they say I can't do it right now, I start asking the right question, but could you do it? Could you carve out little bits and pieces at a time? How many people do you know? Right? How many people, when you say jump, they jump, right? That's your circle of influence. A lot of people are going to try and contact you when you say, you know, that you're looking for something. Even if you don't say you're looking for something, they try and get you involved with different network marketing companies. And a lot of them are that shiny object, that shiny new object down there. But I'm going to tell you this, it might look good on the outside. It might be really classy on the outside. 97% of network marketing companies, 97% of startup small businesses are going to be gone in 5 years. And you know what? When I first got involved with this industry, I joined a company. I thought it was the right one. Guess what? They were part of the 97%. I had to go looking for another company. I joined another company. And when I joined that company, they failed as well. They failed on me. They failed on me. And I got involved with Sizzle. And here's what I like about Sizzle is that Sizzle has a track record. The Mauers have a track record. They're on a mission. You've heard of the Mauer mission. If you haven't, get back to the person that brought you here and find out about the Mauer mission. But Sizzle also has products. Products are important. You know, I tell people the products are really important. Don't fall in love with the products. Don't fall in love with the business, with the company. You want to fall in love with the people. Fall in love with the people that get involved with you. Fall in love with the people on your team. Fall in love with people, and you're going to be successful. That's really, really important. So here's how I'm going to end it. Tomorrow here in the United States, it's the Kentucky Derby. And what I want to say is this, is that when you look at the Kentucky Derby, if you show up with a pony, if you show up with a nag, there's no way you can win that race. There is no way you're going to win the race. Join Sizzle, join us. We're going to show you how to do this thing. We've got a fantastic comp plan. Get back to the person that brought you here, and we will show you how to make this thing work. Katie Larking is involved with